Black Swan Media Studios, deep inside a secret underground bunker. We're speaking to freedom-loving patriots from all around the country and the world. Welcome to the Resistance. This is John Crump, live.
And we are back on the show. Let me just do that. I just want to make sure that I don't get interrupted here. So I am unpairing my phone. I've been doing a lot of investigative journalism, which is what I'm known for. I got 4 stories in the fire, 4 stories that I think are going to make you guys say, what the hell? We are brought to you by Tusk. Tusk is a cryptocurrency focused on the firearms market. Check them out at tusk.network.
Proudly sponsored by TUSC, the only cryptocurrency designed with the firearms market in mind, with 3-second processing times. It's the fastest cryptocurrency on the planet. With lower transaction fees than traditional credit cards. It's perfect for your e-commerce needs. For gun guys, by gun guys. Visit TUSC.network for more information and join the digital revolution.
And we are brought to you by Black Swan Tactical. Black Swan Tactical is where you can get really cool patches, hats, t-shirts, mugs, and more. This month's patch is the Flying Rich patch, Kamikaze Rich. You can also get one of these. We have the non-glow-in-the-dark still available. And you can get those from Black Swan Tactical. Black Swan Tactical. Roll the damn commercial.
Black Swan Tactical, your #1 source for 2A streetwear. With shirts, mugs, hats, patches, flags, and more. There's always something to help you rep the 2A community. All proceeds go back into our projects. Viewers and listeners can take an additional 10% off with code CRUMPY. Unapologetically pro-gun, pro-liberty, and pro-freedom gear for the front lines of the culture war.
And thank you so much for watching that. I'm going to introduce you to my co-host, Flying Rich, who can also go to patreon.com/John Crump if he really wanted to and support me, but I'm not asking him to do that. And we are joined today by Larry Sharp. How are you doing, Larry?
I am here. Thank you. I'm happy to be here. This is my second time on your show, isn't it?
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah, I think it's second time around.
Yes.
Look at that. I get do I get like a badge or something? I get a star on my ribbon or something? I don't know. Do I get something cool?
A lot of people say you shouldn't want stars that you wear, but that's just what I think.
Well, if it's like a combat V or something, I get it. But I mean, as far as
I gotcha.
award, you should kind of want the stars, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I guess so. I am working on
do I get the belt?
stories. No, you do not get the belt.
Oh,
I'm working.
Belt.
I've been working on like 5 stories. One's really shocking, which I'll tell you guys off air. But yeah, it's something there. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Before we get started, I just want to announce that I am looking for a new co-host.
What?
Temporarily.
What?
Well, you're going to be gone for a couple of months.
Fired, Rich. Pack your trash.
No, Rich is taking a couple months off, so I'm gonna need somebody to fill in for Rich for a little bit.
Wow. Oh, I thought I was getting fired, you know?
You're not getting fired. When you come back, you can have it back, and we'll just do a 3-way. That sounds bad.
Fight to the death.
That sounds actually great. As long as you never know, Rich, if the person he finds is hotter than you might have a problem. I'm just saying.
Could be. That's like 99.99% of the population, so.
Dude, a female co-host would rock it with my stats.
I'm canceling all the females that are coming on the show next week.
Exactly. Yes. Done.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Rich, we have to either move tomorrow's stream earlier or reschedule. Well, here's the thing, right? Silencer Shop said, "Hey, we'll give you these suppressors if you do this tomorrow."
Okay.
And I'm looking at it saying, I really want those suppressors.
If you get 2 suppressors, will you give me 1?
Of course I won't.
You are not having a good day, Rich. This is not a good. Why do you
right?
get? I don't know. You gotta stop punching back. Is that why he has the belt? Because he's slamming people?
Right.
Is that why
right.
he got the belt?
I slam everyone.
Do I get the sad trombone? Yo, Larry, I feel like a real dick. I haven't talked to you since the last time you've been on the show.
It's been a while. But hey, I'm busy. You're busy. It's all good, brother. You're always gonna be my brother. You know that.
Oh God. Hey, and I keep telling people, I'm like, I ate lunch with Larry for 6 years every day.
I remember back in Manhattan. Back before it was the lockdown Manhattan.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rich wanted the sad trombone, so I had to get it.
So I got a question. Do you not go out during the week? Because I don't go out during the week.
Yeah, it's rare that I need to go out anymore, right? Since my, our previous king, His Majesty King Andrew Cuomo II, since our previous king deemed me non-essential, so I had to just basically become a coach doing this stuff. I couldn't go consult. I couldn't go teach. I couldn't go do the things that I usually would do.
Wow.
So I basically shut down my office. And you remember my office in Manhattan. I shut it down. Why bother having it anymore? No one's going to go there. I couldn't go there. It was a year and a half. I've changed my business model. So now I basically go out when I kind of go out with my kids or I go out with my wife. It's when I go out. Most of my work is either I walk around here or there. I still live in Queens. So most of the stuff I like is walking distance. Every once in a while I go into Manhattan, but it's very rare. Probably twice a month, maybe. It's about it. Hardly ever.
Yeah, we got to get together one time when I go up there. I'm up there a lot.
Oh yeah. Crumpy.
New York City is an amazing place to visit. It really is. Living here, not going to go that far. But my God, it's awesome to visit. Awesome to visit.
Yeah, Crumpy's in Ronkonkoma a lot.
Yeah. Out on Long Island. Or as we call it, Strong Island.
I like Strong Island.
So tell Mrs. Sharp I said hello.
I will. She may be watching. Who knows? But probably not. She doesn't watch my stuff. She never watches my stuff.
Yeah.
I watch your stuff online. I was watching it today, in fact.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
I screwed up today with my sound. I hadn't been on in a couple of weeks. I was running around New York State. I already announced an exploratory committee for governor of New York. And so I'm running around New York State, seeing how things are going on. And when I came back on, I screwed my sound up really badly, but I fixed it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. So you're thinking about running for governor of New York. Are you going to announce Are you going to announce your run on my show today?
I'm not. No. You beat up Rich too much. I was gonna, but you beat up my boy too much. So now, no, you don't get it.
Rich is my boy, man.
You don't get it now. That's it. Yes.
I have one employee for Black Swan Media Group, and that's Rich.
Yeah. Good employee. Good choice. I like that. But no, so yes, I do a weekly show on WYSL out of Rochester every Tuesday at noon. And then I do my show as much as I possibly can. And then whenever I'm on the road, I live stream whenever I can most of my meetings. I do all my stuff live with no notes. I follow the Gary Johnson model of campaigning. Don't lie, and you don't have to ever remember anything. Easy day. Right. No need for notes.
I mean,
that's it.
Do you ever ask what Restrepo is?
What's Restrepo?
What was it? What was it that he didn't know?
I know. It's Aleppo.
Aleppo, yeah. Restrepo is Afghanistan.
And let me give you two things. One, if you don't know where Aleppo is, you can't bomb it. So good. I'm glad he didn't know. And then second thing, you know what Aleppo actually was? It was an excuse for people to go back to the old ways and vote the same way they went always. And we got the same thing that we always get. And now we're here. I wish Gary Johnson was in his second term right now. We would have a better country. He's not perfect, just a man, but we'd have a better country. And we wouldn't have screwed up leaving Afghanistan. That wouldn't have happened. So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Gary Johnson, I would say I wasn't opposed to him, but Bill Weld, I did not like.
Nobody spent more time, money, and energy trying to stop Bill Weld from being the VP than I did. I lost the internal election to be the VP by 31 votes. Not that I'm counting. Stop counting, John. I'm not counting. You're counting. Not that I was counting, but by 31 votes. Just saying.
Yeah, Bill Weld was not a good choice.
Not my favorite person. That's all. That's what I'll say. How about I leave it there?
So the current governor of New York, how is she? What kind of person is she?
Her Majesty Queen Kathy, as I would say, the king is dead. Long live the queen. She can't be as bad as Cuomo because it takes time to be as bad as Cuomo. Like, you got to work to be as horrible as Cuomo was, right? You just can't get that in like 2 months. You really got to work to be as bad as him. But you know what? She's trying. I'm going to give her her best. She is really trying to be a terrible governor, and it's working. I mean, she recently said that she knows the will of God, and that I'm not joking when I say this. You can literally check it. She actually said that God made the vaccine, and God wants you to have the vaccine. If you don't get the vaccine, then you're going against the will of God. And that what she would like from New Yorkers is more apostles. That's what she wants, because she is divine. So she would like more apostles. Her words.
What the hell is she talking about?
I'm not making this up. Her words. Let me be clear. Her words. Yes.
Is she smoking stuff with Hunter Biden?
I don't think she's smoking stuff. I think that's who she is. Drew says he's seen that because it's true. That actually happened.
Wow.
Yes. I'm not making that up. Her words. She wants apostles. I mean, she's divine. We should be lucky. Man. You guys in Florida, you don't have, your governor doesn't talk to God. Mine does. So I'm actually better than you. My governor talks to God. Yours doesn't.
I'm wow.
Wow, I shut John up. That was good. I made him.
Dude, all right. Well,
awesome.
I've just never heard of something. Have you ever heard that Adam Sandler thing?
Wow. Could you be vaguer? Be a little bit vaguer.
Yes. Help us out, John.
I have heard of Adam Sandler. I have. Yes.
All right. Never mind. I'll play it. I'll play it later. I'll find it. We are all dumber for. You know what I'm talking about from Billy Madison?
So
yes.
Well, what was it? Was it Curtis Sliwa or somebody said less than nothing? I forget who it was. Somebody. It was either Ed Koch, Curtis Sliwa, or like Ron Kuby.
But look, the reality of it is, I think in my state, remember, I'm a very, very blue state. It's about 3-1 Democrat to Republicans in my state, give or take now. More and more people leaving the state. And most of them who are leaving the state, they lean conservative more than they lean liberal. And you are one of those people. Yes, absolutely, Rich. Yes. And so the state's just getting bluer. So, she basically can do what she wants. Here's what I remember. I mean, last year, most New Yorkers woke up and turned on their phone or turned on their TV or computer or tablet and to see if the government would allow them to go to work. And that's what happened. And here's the worst part about that. I'm actually not shocked that the government did that. That's what governments do. That's like being mad at a dog for barking. Dogs bark. I got it. I'm not mad at the government for that. What I'm disappointed in is we just took it. We just took it.
You're right.
And then not only did we just take it, if you live in any major city, particularly New York City, at 7 p.m., we clapped. Remember that? Everybody get up at 7 o'clock and clap. Thank you, jailers. Thank you.
They did that in New York also?
Yes.
Because I saw that in England. I saw a video of that in England.
No, that was New York too. Oh, thank you, jailers. That is some serious Stockholm syndrome. I mean, that's like serious.
Wow.
Yes. So that is the worst part. I'm not mad at the government for doing what they do. That's what governments do. I got it. But it's up to us to say, no, here's the line, right? You can go a certain point, and then we're just not going to take it at a certain point. And we were like, no, please. Thank you, sir. May I have another?
Wait, when was the last time? I don't, as much as I can bust on the French, they don't like crap. They shut the country down.
That's true. No, they will have tractors in the streets. The French get pissed. They do.
Yeah.
They can't fight other countries, but man, can they fight their own?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they
award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
So John was ignoring us for the past 5 minutes while he was searching for that on YouTube.
Yeah, and I got the wrong one too.
Yeah, and he messed up because he did it too late. So you went through all that, John, and you still blew it. Come on, brother.
So
it's for later on, man.
Maybe Rich should be looking for another co-host. Maybe that's what should be happening, my friend.
Larry, what are you up to, man?
I'm just saying, maybe we got to co-host the Flying Rich show. Is all I'm saying. That you never know.
Flying Rich is about to fly to the West Coast.
Dude, did I say that was available to the public right now?
You didn't say it wasn't. I'm a journalist.
Wow. All right. Crumpy's breaking news. All right.
See that?
I'm sorry. I thought that was like public knowledge.
Not exactly, but anyhow.
It is now.
When was the last time? And I'm trying to think of it. I'm honestly asking this question. They always say you shouldn't ask a question you don't know the answer to. When was the last time we had a Boston Tea Party moment where we said, F this, hell no, we're not doing that in the U.S.?
I think we're having one now. I think you're seeing people who are saying no. I think you are seeing it now. So
you're talking Southwest Airlines and all that?
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
I think you're medical personnel, military personnel. I think you are finding. Remember when the Boston Tea Party, when the rebels weren't the majority of Americans, right? The majority of Americans weren't throwing tea into the ocean, to the bay. It was a couple, a couple of them. So that's what I mean. I think we are doing it now. The hope is, does it last? What you keep hearing me say is, in our country, in our culture, what matters is when executives speak, right? I speak about this often. Some senator says something, we kind of ignore it. Some assemblyman says something, we kind of ignore it. But let a mayor say something. Let a governor say something. Let a county executive say something. Let a president say something. Let even, believe it or not, a CEO of a large company or organization say something. The media listens and we talk about it and we push it when an executive says something. And we need more executives to step up and go, what are you talking about? Stop this. What are you doing? And if more executives say it, that's when people will get behind that executive and then move forward. Movements always need some type of face or name or symbol. And I don't think there is one right now.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we got Mitch McConnell,
Yeah, boys. My man, Mitch. I'm excited. You just say his name. I'm excited. I'm with you. You see, John?
Lord.
John, it looks like John's not moving. That's freeze frame. He's actually doing backflips.
Yeah, Mitch McConnell is like,
and they came back.
It's like my hero, man.
See that? There we go. I love it. Mitch is a man.
Yeah, Mitch has to go. Because we're not getting anywhere. We're not getting anywhere in this stupid, with as far as conservatism goes. I hate to say I do have the R next to my name.
I don't.
I still like you. It's fine, Rich.
No, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I have nothing next to my name.
Here's what I will tell you guys, and this is what really, I am literally biased, 100% biased when I say this, but I don't care. I'm still going to say it, even though I'm totally biased. The answer is a strong Libertarian Party, and the reason why that's the answer. Libertarian Party is not going to get 51% of the Senate or 51% of whatever. I'm not saying that. But just imagine if in the next 4 years, 6 years, there were just 3 Libertarian senators. Just 3. That's it. The Libertarian senators would control, without question, the Senate.
You're right.
They would control the Senate. They would be the swing vote, right? And that's what we need. And why would that matter? Because the people who are running would need that. So it would bring Republicans towards liberty and Democrats towards liberty. Yeah. Democrats are supposed to be about civil liberties. They're not, but they're supposed to be. And if you go back 50 years, 60 years, maybe during the Vietnam era, they were, right? If you go back to the anti-war left, they actually were. The ACLU was actually an organization that we could be proud of, right? That did exist. That's totally gone now. But if you have a strong Libertarian Party, Democrats will move more towards that. And I would like to have better Democrats. But Republicans, too, would do it. Republicans are supposed to be about smaller government, less spending. They're not, but they're supposed to be. But all of a sudden, you bring them back. And you see the ones who are. They're all liberty-leaning. You get a strong, not dominant, it's probably not going to happen in this country, but a strong Libertarian Party. It's a strong minority. You will find better Democrats and better Republicans. And that's the answer.
Yeah, but how can we take the Libertarian Party seriously when they run candidates like a guy with a shoe on his head?
You have Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, but I'm not a Republican.
You have Mitch McConnell.
I'm not a Republican.
What are you?
I am a Crumpian.
So you got nothing. So you won't even run. So you're not running, but you're talking trash. And the Republicans got Mitch McConnell. So
no,
okay.
no. What I like to be a free agent.
Yeah, I got you. I'm not.
If
I'm
a
a
Republican,
I wear it on my sleeve.
Yeah, if a Republican runs and I can back the Republican and they are a good Republican, I like a Rand Paul. Yeah, I would vote for him. If the Libertarian, if a Libertarian runs and he's a good Libertarian and I like his ideas, I would vote for him.
Well, we do have a couple more running. If you look at the party, and most people don't pay attention, and I get it. Why would you? We're not an amazing a party. It's true. I'm not pretending like we are, but we do have some good candidates. We do. If I run in 2022, we actually have a governor's candidate in Arkansas, Ricky Harrington Jr. running for governor there. We actually have 3, I guess, decently elected officials. We have 2 at state level. One is a guy named Marshall Burke in Wyoming. He's a state assemblyman. We have one in Maine. Sadly, I've forgotten his name right now. We also have Jeff Hewitt, who is a town supervisor in Riverside, California. So look, we're moving up. It is happening. It's slow, absolutely. But it's slow because you Democrats, Republicans go out of your way. You sue us to get us off the ballot. You create rules and regulations to throw, so you don't have a chance to vote. In New York State, I actually gained ballot access, and then for 4 years, and then a year later, the state said, just kidding, and changed all the rules and eliminated us from the ballot.
Unbelievable.
I lost in 2018. It's true, and I'm saying this live, so this is true. This actually happened. I lost in 2018, but I gained enough to make us a party. We were officially a party in New York State. In 2019, I crossed the state again to get local victories. We had 103 local victories. So that means that in New York State, it went from 0 libertarians to 103 in 1 year. Now, those were all local: city council, water board. They were no state level. They were all local. But they were local elections. If we had stayed a party, imagine how many of them would have run again and would have won something like state assembly or something like that, right? Imagine what would have happened if we had run again. But they literally, and I'm not making this up, do your own homework, this actually happened, literally, they took up a pen, removed us as a party. You don't exist anymore. So now I have no libertarians in my state again. This is what Democrats, Republicans do. It's not like we don't try. We bust our asses and they smash us again and again and again. And it's about money. People say, well, you idiots, you guys, you should be on in the polls. You know how you get in the polls? You buy polls. Literally, I wasn't in the poll. And we called them up. Why are you not putting me in the poll? They said, well, just buy the poll. How much the poll cost? $40,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, I only raised $500,000 my entire campaign. So 40 grand for one poll? Well, how can you not cover me in the newspaper? How can you not cover me on TV? They told it to my face. You don't buy ads.
Wow.
Buy ads, they'll cover you. It's literally pay to play. So you guys can talk trash to libertarians all you want. The deck is stacked against us in every way, yet we still run candidates. And we still make impact, and we're still growing, and we're still the only party that's had ballot access in all 50 states for the last 6 years now. 6 years now. No other third party has done that. We are the only ones. It is Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, then everybody else.
So in New York State, they just administratively changed the rules. It wasn't.
Yes. And during a budget, they tapped it on the back of a budget.
Okay.
Yes. They're like, here's the budget. And by the way, Larry Sharpe, that's what happened. Yes.
All right, Rich, go ahead. Read your read the comment.
Libertarianism doesn't protect you against corporate censorship, declaring these social media companies utilities like telephone lines and energy. So having to respect the First Amendment does something.
I'm not sure that's accurate. And the libertarianism absolutely can. The problem is it's corporatism. right? Why does Facebook want regulations? To ensure no one else can move up, right? That's the issue.
Right.
So it's corporatism. If I were to have a more libertarian world, you can say, here's the issue. Does Facebook have a right in theory to say, I don't want certain people on my platform? Of course. And I can say, it's BS, it's garbage, it's terrible, and you shouldn't do it. The problem is we allowed, to your point, we allowed companies like YouTube to be bought by Google. We allowed Facebook to buy Instagram. So we're setting up a world where there's no competition. And then we're wondering why they dominate everything. They're becoming de facto monopolies set up by the government. Almost all monopolies are allowed by the government. It's not a 100% rule, but it's a good 80% rule. They're set up by the government. And this is exactly what happened. So now you have America's largest search engine in the world, Google, and then the second biggest one, YouTube, owned by the same company.
Right.
What do you expect? I get shadow banned all the time. If my ideas were so good, so bad, or so good for them, why are they shutting me down?
Right.
I'm the one who gets shadow banned. I have literally 86,000 followers on Facebook. Prior to the COVID issues that were popping up, prior to that, I'd get 7, 8, 9, 10,000 views on one show. A good show, 15, 20,000. Now I get 2,000 or 3,000. Now 2,000 or 3,000.
Wow.
Boom, right down. When I was on Facebook, you can look at my pages. It's there. My YouTube, same thing. I used to get thousands on my YouTube. Now I get hundreds. They just basically turned me right down. So if libertarianism is good for them, they don't know that.
At least they didn't kick you off the platform totally. Like
I would rather they do that.
Well, Facebook kicked me off, and I used to work for Facebook.
Yeah,
what the hell?
I would rather them kick me off. The problem is it's tough to kick me off because I'm blue checked and I'm running for office. So it's difficult for them to kick me out. They can.
They kicked Trump off.
But they gave about a bazillion tries, and I'm nowhere near as bombastic as Trump was.
Yeah.
Nowhere near. So, but they could do it. But in a way, I'd rather them do it. At least if they did it, then the problem is if I'm not there, then people can't judge me as being effective or not. So I'd rather go someplace else and be judged effectively. The problem is I'm there and I'm judged as ineffective because I can't grow.
All right, you want some tough questions?
Whatever you want, brother. I'm here for you.
Some people say that libertarianism cannot succeed because libertarianism is for open borders. What is your response to that?
Yeah.
I'm just reading some of the stuff in the comments too.
Yeah, no worries. The Libertarian Party is open borders. Many of the people who are running as candidates are not. I am not open borders. And my logic behind that is, would I like a world to where we could have open borders? I would. I think that is a wonderful place that we should strive to sometime in the future. It is nowhere near where we are now. We are simply not there. We're not there for cultural reasons, monetary reasons, welfare state. There are so many things that would have to change before I'd feel comfortable being open borders. Would I like us to one day get there? I would. I think the idea is wonderful. I would love me and Rich to hold hands and skip across the Mexican border and sing Kumbaya. That'd be awesome. We're just not there. It's not a realistic answer for now. Maybe one day. I hope one day. But no, I am not open borders. And many candidates who run actually are not open borders. Yeah,
many candidates that run are not open borders, which is part of where I'm going with this. Why do you think that that the Libertarian Party, like the libertarians that run, because they're associated with the Libertarian Party, gets lumped in with candidates for open borders? Do you think it's part of the message not getting out there?
Called a socialist. Why does every Republican get called a Trump racist? Why does it happen?
That's where I'm going with this.
It's the people who don't want to like you find the negative thing they don't like and call you that, right? If I don't like Republicans, I go, you're Trump racist, right? Orange man bad. I yell and scream orange man bad all day, even though he's not even running anymore. I just do that, right? We did to Larry Elder in California. If I don't like Democrats, go, you're all socialists, you're all Bernie Sanders, you love China.
I love Larry Elder's a white supremacist. That was the best.
Yes. Yes.
Well,
So
Larry Elder was a white
why.
supremacist, and what Ben Shapiro was a Nazi.
Yes.
There we go. Yes. So the reason is because people call you the thing they don't like because they don't like you. So they call you that thing.
Do you think?
And whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
it could be a complete lie. They just repeat it enough.
Do you think there's a way that libertarians can can change the political landscape?
I've already shown how it can be done, right? In a microcosm, obviously, in a small way. Before me running in New York, I multiplied the last guy's votes by 6. And what made the difference? I ran a real campaign, and the number one thing is, if you ask me an actual question, I will give you an actual answer. I will give you a policy answer. If you ask the average Democrat or the average Republican, all they will do is say, other guy bad. That's all they will say. Other guy bad. That was literally Biden's entire campaign. His entire campaign is, I'm not Trump. Right? I mean, wasn't it true? So what about foreign policy? I'm not Trump. How about, healthcare? Did I tell you I'm not Trump? How about the economy? I don't know if you heard, I'm not Trump. That literally was his entire campaign. And it worked. And others do it too. Stupid bastard.
That was great. I mean, you're right. They do run, hey, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy. And instead of giving you...
Look, I know I killed somebody, but Rich killed 3 guys. So you got to vote for me. He killed 3 guys. I only killed 1.
So you're not one for the lesser 2 evils.
I think that's what gets us here. Don't forget something.
Yeah.
Bush got us Obama. Obama got us Trump. Trump got us Biden.
Bye.
Are we happy about these? I'm just saying, even if you're a Democrat, maybe you're happy with Obama, but you're not happy with Trump. If you're Republican, maybe you're happy with Trump, but you're not happy with Biden. So we just go back and forth every 5 minutes.
Yeah,
this is not a win. Yeah, and we get more divided. We get more and more. We're dating based upon this now. We're losing family members based upon this now.
Oh boy, yeah, my wife just left, so her and her dad are.
Yes,
I dated a communist
over this.
I did.
Yes.
In the past, I dated a communist.
I'm the only guy who can go to all the sides. I went to a DSA meeting here in Queens.
Oh, wait a second.
Democratic Socialists of America.
In case Larry's audience doesn't know, his wife was in love with Hillary Clinton.
Yes, she is no longer a Democrat. In my wife's views, the Democratic Party has left her. She is no longer a Democrat.
I'm glad George. I don't know if you use her name. I'm glad she got there.
Hillary Clinton with the on-demand Southern accent with the hot sauce.
My wife was a 25-year, 30-year Democrat, and mostly Democrat because her family was, which is why most people pick their first party.
Right.
And my wife just didn't care enough about politics to ever change that. So she was just always Democrat for decades. But then as we met, I'm not a Democrat. And she began to move a little bit, but she liked Hillary Clinton. She did. And boy, does she hate Trump. Oh my God. My wife hates Trump. Oh my God. So and the funny thing is, my wife, I think, is like most Americans, I think, which is they just want to go back to the old ways. Like, can we just be calm and cool and not crazy?
Yeah.
So my wife is the kind of person who thinks like, well, Mitt Romney's not bad. I mean, he's a regular guy, right?
Ow.
Like he's a regular, but you see my point, right? That's the old school regular guy stuff. Trump's not a regular guy. So you don't like that. That's not a good thing, right? So they don't like that at all. So I think a lot of people felt that about Trump. I'll give you an example I give all the time. Let me finish my wife's story real fast. My wife actually she finally said, I'm not a Democrat anymore. So I said, are you a Republican? She's like, no, not really. So you libertarian? Hoping that got her. She's like, I don't think so. Then it's during the lockdowns, right? So the lockdowns are happening and everything's bad here in New York State. And my wife's in front of the computer and she goes, this isn't COVID. This is the government's job, locking us down. That's their fault. And I was like, your transformation is complete. You are now one of us. You've now become one of us. So it took time. But anyway, my other piece I want to bring up here is if you look at a lot of people, they didn't like Trump's personality, or they liked Trump's personality. And I'll give you two pieces of this. One, my guy, when I ran in 2018, my media chief, who I ran with, was actually a former Bernie bro. And why would a Bernie guy come to become a libertarian? To be forward, he didn't know what Bernie stood for. He just saw Bernie as a rebel. So he wanted the rebel. When a Democrat screwed over Bernie and got Hillary, he's like, well, my rebel's gone. So then he went to Trump. A lot of people went to Trump from Bernie, not knowing any of their policies, just knowing rebel was a rebel. I don't want the same thing. I want a rebel. And Trump is definitely a rebel. So there were a bunch of Bernie people who went to Trump. Now you would say,
my wife had a friend like that.
Bingo. You would say
like,
policy
what?
that makes no sense, but they're not thinking policy.
Right.
They're thinking, I like the rebellion in Bernie. I like the rebellion in Trump. And most people, whether you like Bernie or not, most people believe what he's saying is he believes it. People believe what Trump is saying they believe. I remember I had a guy in Long Island, friend of mine, who actually voted for Obama twice. They voted for Trump. And I was like, why? Why'd you vote for Trump? That doesn't seem to make sense to me. And you know what he told me? He's very forward. He said, I feel like what he's saying, he believes. Like I believe him. I'm like, oh. So its personality is heavy, not policy. If you ask a lot of people who don't like Trump and you just went down his policies, a lot of people say, oh, that's not bad. Oh, that's not bad. If you go, that's Trump's policies. Oh, I hate that guy. Him and his tweets. And then they don't like it anymore. Seriously. There are a lot of people who just don't like him. They don't like his person. They don't like that he's very aggressive. They don't like him. And whether people like it or not, politics is heavily emotional.
I think it's Jesse Waters that went out and switched, saying, "Oh, who do you like?" And they're like Biden, and they switched the policies around and like, "Oh yeah, I like that Biden. This is Biden, and those are all Trump's policies and Biden." And people were.
I think Army Horowitz did that also. They might have
that's
both
who
done.
did it. Army Horowitz did that. And I think what we see here is a cult of personality around these people.
Yep. Yes.
And I'm not for a cult of personality. One thing I asked, I was like, okay, name me one thing, or I say name me two things or three things that the guy that you support does that you don't like. And a lot of people are like, I can't really think of anything. And when they say that, it's like, you really don't know what they stand for, because there's no way you like everything that somebody does.
Well, I can tell you, I didn't Trump. I was screaming every time he passed one of those budgets. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Because they just kick the ball. They're still doing. It's like it's like if I was getting an allowance and I spent my allowance on Monday and it was supposed to last till Sunday. And I say, oh, can I have more? They're like, yeah, but don't do it again. Okay.
Right.
And then I do it again. And I'm like, so why do we have a spending cap? What's my personal belief is that the government instills straight guys should hate gay guys. White guys should hate black guys. Black guys should hate white guys. Rich people should hate poor people. Vaccinated should hate unvaccinated. Vice versa. So we're all busy hating each other. Of course, Republicans hate women. That's why none of us are married or dating women. So since we're all hating each other, we're not thinking like, wait a second.
I'm married.
So we're not like, hey, the government's effing me every day of the week. What is this spending cap? How come they keep just saying, F that. We'll just add more money onto it and let us spend more. Because all of the things, like I always love when people talk about it, like Social Security. If I had a pension plan and did what Social Security did, I'd be in jail for life.
Yeah.
But nobody's aware of what's going on. Nobody's saying like, the government is effing me 6 ways since Tuesday, and they're all getting rich.
Yes, and there's the worst part. They're all grifting.
Yes.
They're all grifting while we suffer. 100%. Yes. I feel sometimes like the people in charge, our nobility, they actually know the Roman Empire is collapsing. And they're like,
oh
you know
yeah,
what?
they do.
Let's grab as much as we possibly can before the barbarians come and sack Rome. Let's get everything we can before the barbarians sack Rome. That's what I feel like. They're just trying to suck as much as they can so they can go someplace when this all collapses.
Absolutely. Well, look, and some of these people, look at Pelosi. She's wealthy, crazy wealthy. Her and her husband. Nothing will ever hurt them.
Yep. And then why are you still running?
And that's, right. I kind of look at somebody like Bloomberg or Trump, and I'm like, if I had that much money, you'd never hear from me again.
But think about this: Bloomberg couldn't buy his way in.
That was
the system is.
Like Bloomberg could buy his way in. Yeah, he could buy mayor in New York.
Yeah, literally. Yes.
And I think the Bloomberg personality worked in New York, but it didn't work across the country. That was the whole thing.
But here's my argument for this. My argument is, if you actually want to make campaign finance fairer, safer, more egalitarian, two things have to change. One, corporations are not people. Stop acting like corporations should be able to donate money. They should not. Corporations are not people. Neither are unions. Neither are anything else. None of them are people. They can't vote. If they're people, they can vote. Not just that. If they're people, well, then they can't hand over any documents because they have Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination. But they don't have any of those. So why do they get First Amendment rights but not Fifth, but not Third or Fourth? Right? Why is that a thing? Right?
Okay.
So they're not people. Number one. So no organization should be able to give any money to any candidate ever. Number one. Number two, all individual people should be able to give whatever they want, any amount to whomever, anytime, as long as it is transparent. Now they have to wear literally on their sleeves. They got to wear names of the people who they're big, like they're sponsors,
like NASCAR, right?
Yeah, like NASCAR. Now you might say to yourself, well, Larry, then big business will then win. Oh, no. Here's why. Two parts. Number one, Bloomberg, he had all the money. Why didn't he win? Because people didn't like the way it felt. Politics is emotional. It felt like he was buying the presidency, and even Democrats walked away from him. And they liked him. They walked away. Remember back when Newt Gingrich was running, and he had that guy Alderman who was giving him all that money, and people didn't like it. They're like, I feel like that guy's buying him. We didn't like the feeling of someone buying the election. But I'll go one step further. Don't you think big CEOs, like the CEO of Exxon, is probably giving a bunch of money to candidates?
Oh, sure.
Who's the CEO of Exxon?
I have no idea.
No one knows. That's correct. That's the problem. We should know that. And if he was giving $1 billion to a candidate, we would know that.
So at first, when you were saying this, I was saying, there's going to be,
it's Darren Woods, by the way.
There we go.
I was going to say there's 100 rich people that's going to pick the next president or fill in the blank.
It's kind of like now.
It's kind of like the argument to take down the Electoral College, because then, Rhode Island, nobody will ever give a crap about again.
Well, no, my point is those 100 people are doing it now. We just don't know who they are.
Right.
They have cool names like the group of
whatever pack,
cool people pack. Oh, it's cool people giving them. No, it's the CEO who's giving them all the money. So we need to know who that CEO is.
All right. Well, here's a question for you. Would you like to go to a ranked voting system where you vote for your first choice?
It is the way. Ranked voting is the way. We have it in New York City, but we have it only for the primary. And here's why. Because the Democrats realized, man, if the way we're running now, the establishment guy always wins. We don't want the establishment guy to win. So we need to make sure that we give other people a chance at actually having a victory, which is why we're going to ranked choice voting. So you think, okay, great. So you'll give smaller parties a chance? Oh, no. Only Democrats.
No, I mean, I really liked ranked choice voting.
Ranked choice voting is critically important because now you can decide who you don't want. And imagine if we had ranked choice voting. Gary Johnson would have done a whole lot better. He might have won a state. Who knows? Right? He might have even won a state. He probably wouldn't have won the election, but he might even have won a state. Think about it. Amount of people who would have said, Republicans who would have said, I don't want Hillary, but I would take Gary Johnson. He'd be number two. And for those people who say, I like Gary Johnson, but I'm scared of Hillary, they voted Trump. But they could have voted Gary Johnson first and Trump second, knowing that if Gary Johnson doesn't win, their vote goes to Trump and they don't vote for Hillary. Or the reverse, you're a Democrat, you're scared of Trump, he's going to come eat your babies. I got you. Don't vote for Trump. Vote for Gary Johnson and then vote for Hillary after that. Either way, you have more people having more choice and a chance. But more importantly, you now get to see what is the real support of a third-party candidate, right? Because what you got
that's a big deal.
Yes, now you would know. Was Gary Johnson really only 3% of the population? Maybe, but maybe he was 30%, but people were afraid. Well, now you'd know he's 30%, and we know that there's more of impact. And again, that would pull people towards libertarianism because they'd say, wait a minute, 30% of people actually like liberty? Huh, I want that. I'm going to have to move towards that. So yes, ranked choice voting is an amazing thing. We should have it 100%. Yes.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things that I really, really like is ranked choice voting, and I think that's the way to break the two-party system. I don't know that we're going to break it without something like that, but I also don't know how realistic it is to have ranked choice voting.
It's already happening. It's already in Maine.
I'm talking about like on a national level for like
it's already happening again. It's going to happen tomorrow. No, already in New York City, already in Maine. It's on the ballot in like 4 or 5 states. It's already happening. There's a group called Unite America and Unite New York. I'm part of Unite New York. They're literally trying to do another one called Rank the Vote, another group. I'm part of them also. So I support both of them. It is growing. I wish faster, John. I'm with you. I wish it was all growing faster, but it absolutely is growing. We have it in several states. Again, we already have it all Maine. I think Alaska too. A couple of other local municipalities have it too, to include New York City.
All right.
So it is on the move.
That is good to know because I think that's the way forward.
100%. And it also what happens is it also begins to begins to stop the negative campaigning. And why is that? The three of us are running. And if all I say is John's a jerk, which is a jerk, John's a jerk, which is a jerk, I can only get my people. But if I go, no, John's a jerk, but Rich is not bad. I like him. Look, I think I'm better, but Rich is a good man. You know what? If you vote me first and vote Rich second. And then Rich goes, you know what, Larry, I'm better than Larry, but I don't mind Larry. Vote me first and vote Larry second. Odds are one of us is going to win. We're going to beat you, John. Because when one of us gets eliminated, our people go to the other. Right. So it makes sense logically to team up, to not be so negative, and to say what Rich and I agree upon. Look, here's where we disagree. If this is a critical thing for you, you got to vote for Rich. But if this isn't critical, you got to vote for me. And Rich did the same thing in return. So now we can see where we're going, and both sides have a chance of getting together. So now we're not fighting. And not just that. If I win, Rich's people aren't afraid. They don't think, oh my God, Larry won. The world's going to end. They go, Larry won. All right, not great. But he talks to Rich. Rich will have some influence on him. Rich will move him towards us. We'll be okay. The world's not going to end. It doesn't make the world end. Now they're like, well, okay, the world's not going to end. I wish I had Rich, but you know what? I'll take this Larry guy. I'm sure Larry's going to talk to him, and we'll maybe make some stuff happen. And now if I want to put Rich in the cabinet, everyone's like, of course he would. They were kind of running together. That makes total sense. So ranked choice voting has many, many advantages.
Okay, wait, here's the thing. I think one of the issues with ranked choice voting is that Biden would get too confused and have no idea what the hell's going on.
Well, he probably didn't vote anyway, so who cares? Right?
He probably didn't vote correctly. So, Larry, you're in AOC's district.
I got hairy legs.
That's true also.
Is there a competitor? Is there a Libertarian or a Republican or a primary challenge to AOC?
Yes, AOC is my congressperson. I accept your condolences. One thing I will always give you about her, I try to give credit where credit is due. She did bust her rump for the first time when she ran for the seat. She did. After that, she's done nothing. But the first time, she actually did it. Totally did. It was totally fun. I'm very happy that she busted her rump for that. But no, there is no real competitor to AOC at all right now. She is in absolutely no fear of losing her seat at the moment. It is something in my district like 6-1 Democrat to Republican in my district, something like that, or 5-1. a Democrat to a Republican in my district. And she's too popular. No one else will really do it. So yes, she's solid and safe. She's going nowhere.
Larry, somebody wants to know if you fear Rich crashing the nation.
Well, here's the advantage to Rich, right? If Rich was going to crash the nation, Rich is savvy enough and keeps his head enough that he would land in the right place, keep everybody safe. So I actually am happy. If this nation has to crash, I want Rich at the helm.
No, Rich actually did a really good job. I went back and researched his crash landing on the road, and
I remember.
They said if he didn't do such a good job landing, it would have been a lot worse. They credited it to his flying experience.
Mm-hmm. And he has a level head, and he was thinking straight. So Drew, you talking trash, but yes, I would like to have Rich at the head if we got to crash. That's the man I want piloting my ship. Yep, I'm in.
Yeah, but Rich is a great guy. Let's see here. We have
until you want to be replaced.
Yeah. I don't want you to replace. You're quitting on me, man.
Yes.
You're trying to say that I'm trying to replace you. You're quitting on me for a couple months. You're going to be back, but go ahead, read the question, Rich.
You asked me to read. I can barely read it. I'm on my cell phone.
Oh. How do you really believe you're going to stop the top families that run the world from doing so when they put people out there out to pasture every day for getting in their way from world domination?
Was that to me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The thing to remember is most people who are making money, right? They don't care how they make the money. Like the military industrial complex doesn't care if it bombs people and kills people. It just, if it does, it does. If not, it not. It just wants to make money. When you start giving people other ways to make money, then they'll just stop making money. The issue is you want to turn people away. The average person has no idea what their piece is in the machine. They just know they're making money, moving themselves forward. If you shift them into the right arena, they'll start doing the right thing and it will begin to slow things down. That's how you do it. You don't just go, bad guys doing bad things, stop. That doesn't work.
Yeah, that's good. Rich, Chris Bullis says Rich is a good dude. Yes.
That's true. Yes.
Drew Bradley says that you're right about Rich.
Yep.
How the hell did this become about Rich all of a sudden?
Yeah.
I don't.
You were
John,
the one replacing him is why. That's the issue. You were being on him. So now he got the sympathy vote. See that? Rich got the sympathy vote.
Is that it? I don't need the sympathy vote.
No, I'm saying the whole thing, the questions have been like about Rich crashing planes.
Mm-hmm.
So, Larry, I got a just personal question. Financially, how the heck can you run for governor? I mean, that's got to be a personal.
It is.
Yeah.
I get my ass kicked. I literally don't run for a year. I don't get a salary. I go into debt, which is why no one does it. Gotta remember something.
Right.
Politics is either a rich man's game or an establishment man's game. One of those two. That's what it is. And when I ran last time in 2018, there were 4 of the people running against me. All 4 of them were getting government checks. I was the only one who wasn't. So they were all getting paid to run, right? They were all getting paid to run. I was the only one not getting paid to run. So yeah, what I do is I get my ass kicked. Why do you think no one else does it?
Well, yeah, I know. I'm picturing you eating ramen noodles, you know?
Yes, absolutely. No, what it is a lot of debt. People ask, Larry, why didn't you run for something in 2020? Because I was broke from 2018. That's the reason. Because I was broke from 2018. I got to make up my money. I got to pay off my debt and then put some money in the bank, do my regular job so that I can run again. Yes, right. I just get my ass kicked. You're correct. It is if you're rich, who cares? Or if you're an establishment person and you already get a paycheck, that's why people who run are those who are already elected. They get paid to run.
Sure. Yeah, you're right about that. That makes a lot of sense.
That's why.
Another
advantage the incumbent has.
That is definitely true.
Yeah.
It really is. But what do you AOC is who represents you? A while ago, she was talking about how people in Congress need to be paid more because $170,000 doesn't work, and that makes them seek out.
I do,
and that makes them seek out other ways of making money, which leads to corruption.
Oh, that's why they're corrupt.
Yeah,
I was wondering why. So
that's like the worst argument ever.
Say it again.
That's the worst argument ever. It's like, well, we're going to be crooks if you don't give us enough money.
Yes,
like,
which literally makes you a crook. That makes you an extortionist. Like saying that makes you a crook.
Right.
So you're a crook for even saying it. 100%. Yes, it is.
Well, what is why can't I think of the name of the crime? It's a conspiracy. Like if I said, Larry, if you don't give me this, I'm going to do that. It's like,
yes,
I'm already guilty of a crime.
Correct. Well, the issue is there is a point, right? You don't want them getting paid so little, right? But there's no one who would say $170K is unlivable. If they were getting paid, $12,000 a year, all right, I'd buy the argument. It makes sense, right? It's the problem they had with some police forces, notoriously in New Orleans. They were paying the police force so low that cops had to become bouncers at night to pay their bills. Now, if you're in that frame, I get it. That does make sense. But $170K, is there any place in the country you can't survive on $170K a year? I think
Washington, D.C.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's kind of
no. Because all your expenses you can take through your campaign.
Okay.
So you can. Right? Any expenses you for the business that you of work that you're doing, that your campaign can pay for, or the government pays for anyway. So even in DC, you can still survive.
Yeah, because they get a housing allowance. They get a housing allowance.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, I'm not a big fan of Brian Mast, but I know he was sleeping in his office.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he's getting divorced.
I don't want to spread rumors. But never heard any of that. But
no, they get a housing allowance, so it's not like, okay, they pay the mortgage. It's like, here's a certain amount of money to pay rent or mortgage, whatever, each month.
Yeah.
So because I was
sleeping
thinking
in his office, he could be banking that money.
Well, not just that. If you have to sleep in your office, you don't have any friends.
That's the next part.
Come on.
Like if John Crump is some evil executive and I'm staying at his place, then all of a sudden, you're like, oh, I'm bought and paid for by John Crump.
Okay, first off, John Crump, if he's an evil executive, he's already writing you checks anyway, number one. But besides that, even if he's not, he's the only friend you got is evil John Crump?
Why the hell am I evil?
Okay, then good John Crump, whatever.
All right, that's better.
You got an evil twin, evil John Crump, and then you got the regular you, which is the good John Crump. So you're talking about your evil twin, John, not you.
Okay,
yes. And that John is Jon. He spelled, the evil one spells his name Jon.
No, okay.
But that's all I'm saying. I mean, there's no one that you know. You can't even stay at the house of somebody's of some other congressperson who lives there.
Yeah, Drew Bradley says John Crump owns Amazon. That was a rumor, Larry. I don't know if you've heard that rumor.
I'm just jealous I didn't start that rumor.
No, there was somebody started a rumor that I was one of the early investors in the Amazon and I made millions and millions of dollars, and no one should trust me because I made millions and millions of dollars from being an early investor in Amazon. And I'm like, never happened.
Well, just in case you are, LarrySharp.com/donate. Feel free. Throw some of that cash my way, my friend. Evil John Crump, who wants influence. LarrySharp.com/donate. Enjoy.
Yeah, too bad it's not real. It's not real at all.
I was covering my bases, John. Covering my bases.
But people believed it.
Yeah, I like it.
And I was like, what the hell?
I love it.
It's like, so I would like buy like time on a network or something instead of doing the freaking YouTube live stream.
It's not bad. That's a good idea. I'm with you. I would too.
So Green Mirror.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Green Mirror 555 says, seize the Federal Reserve, repeal the 16th Amendment, ban the IMF from the USA, end taxation, return the USA currency to 100% gold-backed. Realize that China, One Belt, One Road, has bought NATO. Wow. What do you got to say to that, Larry?
I like where he's going. I do. I like where he's going. I'm just being forward. You realistically, how do you seize the Federal Reserve when most people don't even know what the Federal Reserve is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We have a serious education problem. And I tell the story often. You might have heard this already, Rich. I was teaching, but before I was deemed non-essential, I used to do a lot of teaching and leadership, right? And one of the groups I would teach would be New York City agencies. And I'm teaching one agency group. And if you can imagine, these are all educated, professional people. Youngest is probably 30, oldest is probably 60. So in that age range, and I never bring up politics. They know what I did, but they never bring up politics unless they ask or it's a break or something like that. So it's during a break. And I hear one guy say, man, I'm so glad, we had the Fed. It really saved us during the crash. And they look at me.
Oh, Jesus.
Like, you asking me that? Like, yeah, Larry, right? And I said, you guys know the Fed is basically a private banking cartel, right? It's a private bank. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Google it. You got your phones. Google it now. They Google it. All me here. Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Yeah. The Fed just makes money. Literally, it just makes money out of nothing. Just makes money. No, it doesn't. No, yeah. Just Google it. And literally, I'm going to be very clear. 20 to 25 educated, credentialed adults in the largest city in the country, not one of them knew that. So this guy is saying, see the Federal Reserve, we have a whole lot more work to do, which is why I always say audit the Fed. Why do I say audit the Fed? Because when you want to audit the Fed won't let us audit it. Of course they won't. And then we realize we can't audit the Fed. No, because they're a private business. We have to have a reason to audit them. We just randomly audit people. That's not how it works. We can just decide and pick on these people. And the country might go, oh, most of the reporters don't know this. A reporter will go, oh, wait a minute, it's a private bank? Yeah, they just make money magically. No way. So we have a lot more work to do. I get where he's going. The country's nowhere near that. But not just that. He then says, end taxation. We don't have a way of raising money and supporting ourselves. And the COVID lockdowns have proven that. Remember, whenever you add government, you by default remove community. There are communities in this country now who have been supported by the government for so long, they don't have the institutional knowledge left to support themselves. And we saw that with the COVID lockdowns. We need more policies to encourage communities to step up first, so communities are prepared for when we end taxation. Prior to that, you're just going to have a bunch of horribleness falling all over the place. It's just not going to work well without us supporting our communities first. He then says, return the USA to a 100% gold currency. How?
That's the big one.
Could we do it? Yes. I have a plan to give New York its own currency, gold-backed. So if I run, I'll have my own gold-backed currency. The way you do that is to have individual states have their own gold-backed currencies.
But is that legal?
Yes, as long as it is a state only. Correct. It cannot cross the border.
Okay.
Utah already has one. I think South Dakota has one. A couple states already have currencies, right? And they're based on gold. They're gold-backed. It does exist in certain states.
Oh, I had no idea.
If we can get all the states to do that, we could then merge all the dollars, gold-backed.
Okay.
You could do it. In fact, if you had most of them, you probably could do it. But if you don't begin that process, it's literally impossible, right? The dollar right now is the reserve currency in the world. You can't tomorrow go, well, I'm sorry, you can. And that's what's going to happen actually eventually. But when you do that, you create horrible, horrible problems. What's going to happen to the dollar is eventually it's going to collapse. And when the dollar collapses, the United States is not going to collapse. It's just going to do this. Remember we said that we had a dollar and it was worth this? It's not. It's now worth this. Why? Because we said so, or we'll invade you. That's what we're going to do. Because we said so. But that's going to crush our economy. Yeah, for about 2 years it is. But that, or we bomb you. So which would you rather have, crushed economy or us bombing you? And basically we're just going to use threat to just say the dollar is whatever we say it is. We're going to reboot the dollar either through cryptocurrency or through just saying it is what it is, and we'll use force to do it.
So do you think the dollar will collapse? They'll replace it with a U.S. crypto dollar?
I think it's possible. I don't know. The problem you have is once you start going crypto, do you allow it to be an investable coin, right? This is the issue. And it depends. If you look at how much money is spent, dollars is spent, you probably, and this is a guess here, right? I'm being very clear. This is a guess here. You might be able to have so much usage, so many transactions, that investment might not affect the dollar hardly at all, right? It'd be just like we invest in currencies now. because there's just so many transactions possible. But maybe not. To be forward, I don't know exactly how that would work. Some actuaries will do numbers on this to figure out if it makes any sense to do it. I think it's possible, but it would depend upon if you can make enough transactions to where investment wouldn't make it so volatile.
So
all right, with that, we are over an hour, Rich. We have tons of questions out there, so we're gonna have to have Larry back in the future. Sorry, Rich, for cutting you off there, but we are.
That's okay, buddy.
I know Larry, you have stuff to do. I have stuff to do. Rich have stuff to do. The people out there have stuff to do. So we are.
I don't get to talk to Larry unless I have him on the show.
There we go. Yes.
Maybe you should have a Larry and Rich show.
Oh, I love it. That's the answer.
There you go. That's the answer. Coming to Black Swan Media.
There we go. All right, guys. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. Good seeing you guys.
Thank you, Larry. You have a good day. Tell everyone where they can find you at.
You want to see my cool show? I'm pumping it right here, The Sharp Way. It's on almost every night, 7 p.m. Eastern. Please check it out. Got cool stuff going on. And you can check me out at LarrySharp.com.
All right, cool. Thank you, Larry, so much there. And Rich, tell everyone where they can find you.
FlyingRich.com, YouTube.com/FlyingRich. And Hank is having a show tonight. That's why I'm wearing a shirt. So Hank Strange is having a show at 7 p.m.
Are you going to be on it?
No, I wasn't invited on.
I like Hank.
Yeah, that worked for me. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, tomorrow the show is going to have to get rescheduled because free suppressors.
Okay, so you want it before 6, before 5, or after 5? What are we talking about?
Before 5 or just schedule.
All right, I'll see if I can do 4 o'clock.
All right. Also, on Thursday, we have the Utreon guys coming in, so that should be really cool.
Yeah, Larry, check out Utreon, utreon.com.
I will.
With that, we are out of here. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you tomorrow.